And Ms. Belial, are you going to be handling this case?
Judge, if that's Powell, then that would be Mr. Brooks.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Which case are we on?
Position 56, Darius Powell. He's
Okay.
the young man that has made a decision to represent himself.
Okay, if the court would give me just one moment.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, at the court's pleasure.
Okay. Let's unmute Mr. Powell, please. Mr. Powell, it is my understanding that you have chosen to represent yourself in this proceeding. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you understand that you will be expected to proceed as if you were a lawyer. Do you understand that? I'm
Yes,
sorry.
sir.
Okay. So as a judge, I cannot show you any favoritism because you are not a lawyer and you're choosing to represent yourself. Do you understand that?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay. For the record, this is going to be position 56, State of Georgia versus Darius Powell. Mr. Powell has chosen to represent himself, and that, of course, is his absolute right. He is charged in warrant number 2022 WA 06390 with committing the offense of criminal trespass. He's charged in warrant number 2022 WA 06391 with also committing the offense of criminal trespass. And he's charged in warrant number 2022 WA 06392 with committing the offense of obstructing an officer. The state is here being represented by Mr. Brooks. Mr. Brooks, would you swear in your witness and present your case?
Yes, Your Honor. Officer Lewis, if you will activate your camera and microphone.
It's on, sir.
All right. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm testimony about giving the matter now pending before the court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, Officer Lewis. Please state your name for the record.
My name is Officer Dion Lewis.
And how are you employed?
I work for MARTA Police Department.
On April 12th of 2022, were you employed in the same capacity?
Yes, sir.
Is it part of your duties and responsibilities to clear the trains as well as the platforms of the trains?
Yes, sir.
The jurisdiction that you serve, is it all MARTA platforms and all MARTA property, I guess, service stops?
Yes, sir.
Specifically on April 12th, 2022, were you at the airport MARTA train station?
Yes, sir, I was.
Is that located here in Clayton County?
Yes, sir.
If you will activate your camera for me also.
I believe it's on.
It went
see?
off. Now we can see. Yeah. On that day, did you encounter an individual by the name of Darius Powell?
Yes, sir.
How did that encounter come about?
Am I able to read my report for that day?
If it will refresh your recollection, then come back on camera and then we'll go from there, okay?
On April 12, 2022,
Hold
at
on,
approximately.
Officer Lewis, hold on. Read the report, refresh your recollection, then I ask you a question from there, okay?
Okay, no problem. Sorry. Yes, sir, I'm ready.
Okay, activate your camera. On that day, April 12th, 2022, about 8 o'clock in the morning, did you encounter Darius Powell?
Yes, sir.
How did they come about?
While we were clearing the platforms at the airport station, I encountered myself, and a couple of other officers encountered Darius Powell along with my Sergeant Price, stating observing him sleeping. So when I went to go wake him up, he woke up. I informed him, "Hey, sir, this is the last stop. You're gonna have to leave." He first left, then he came back. When he came back, I then asked him for a Marta Breeze card. Um, he did not provide a Marta Breeze card and stated that he's not going anywhere. I informed Mr. Powell again, if he doesn't leave, we're gonna charge him with criminal trespassing. He stated he's not going anywhere, and if we touch him or go near him, he's gonna punch us. He's gonna F us up. That's when he clenched his fist, and that's when one of my other officers maced him.
Upon placing Mr. Powell under arrest, were you able to do any additional investigation or research as related to his authority to be or his permissions to be at the MARTA train station, particularly at the airport?
No, sir.
Do you have something called a suspension list, service suspension list?
Yes, sir, we do.
And what is that?
Basically, suspension list is any crime committed or offense committed upon MARTA. They give out either 14-day suspension or 30 days or 60-day suspension. And if they give 30 days to appeal the suspension, stating that they need the train to either to either go to school, go to work, or whatever they need the train or buses for. If they don't appeal within those 30 days, the accused will not be allowed on MARTA property until that suspension is over.
And did you do a suspension check on Mr. Powell?
Yes, once arrested, yes, sir.
And did he have any active suspensions for service?
Yes, sir, he did.
Okay. Do you see the individual that you identified as Darius Powell on screen?
He was the one that represented himself. That's him, sir.
Okay. All right. No additional questions at this time.
Mr. Powell, do you have any questions for Officer Lewis?
No, sir, I wouldn't dispute what she said. She's more than accurate about the situation. I was kind of incoherent and sleepy due to the fact that I had just got out of the DeKalb County jail the following evening and didn't have a place to sleep, and got on. So I got on the train at 7 a.m. and I rode the train. And once I rode the train to the airport, I forgot where I was, and I should have used more of better judgment and manners in the situation. But I had a lapse of judgment, and she sounds more than accurate. And she, as a fellow officer or as an officer, and I'm pretty sure she tells the truth.
Okay. Do you have any other follow-up, Mr. Brooks?
Oh, sir.
May Officer Lewis be excused?
Officer Lewis may be excused, assuming she has no other cases.
Okay, ma'am, do you have any other cases here today?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you may be excused.
All right, thank you, guys. You guys be safe out there.
You too. Mr. Powell, are you planning on presenting any other evidence?
The only evidence I would have was this lapse of judgment. No, I don't have I don't have any documentation or any proof of residence or any proof of evidence.
Okay. Any argument, Mr. Brooks?
No, Your Honor. State submit on the evidence, Your Honor.
Any argument, Mr. Powell, other than what you've already said?
No, sir.
Okay, I'm going to find there's sufficient evidence to bind this case over to the state court of Clayton County. Mr. Powell, I would suggest at some point that you may want to reconsider your decision about self-representation, because it appears as though a lawyer may be able to negotiate with the state and possibly reach a resolution that you will find it amenable, whereas you can't necessarily do that yourself until you get to court. Okay,
So this is not where I could plead guilty for it and get maybe time served and probation? Can I do
No,
that
sir.
today?
no, sir. Unfortunately not. And that's the thing. Your case now will get transferred over to state court where you will be placed on a calendar. But I can't tell you when that may be because I don't know what judge is going to be assigned to your case. And that judge is the person that's going to dictate when you come to court.
Will I be able to can I get a SOR bond to reduce my bond or get something to reduce it where I can maybe go home and cause I start college. I start college on the 16th. I was trying to get maybe a SOR and probably fight it from the street. It's hard for me to do anything behind bars because I am by myself. Could I possibly get a UJR or SOR bond today?
No, sir. One, the state has 10 days notice requirement. So you file a petition for bond, the state has 10 days to be able to prepare and respond. I don't have your criminal history before me, and that's something that goes into the calculation as a judge for whether a person gets out or under what conditions a person may get out. Because I don't have your history just laid out before me.
Awesome. So within 2 days, I should be able to go back to court.
Like I said, I don't know when. I do not know that because all I can tell you is that your case is going to get transferred to state court and it's going to get assigned to a judge. The state has, they call it statute of limitations. They have 2 years from the date that they have evidence of your alleged crime in order to draw up what's called an accusation, which is a formal charging document. There are people before you. So state is not necessarily in a position where they can just put your case before another case. That's where a lawyer becomes handy because a lawyer may be able to have informal discussions with the state and they may reach an agreement about how to resolve your case. But going in the manner that you're going, you're just going to most likely end up in a situation where by the time you get to court, you've already served more time than maybe the state would even ask for. But that's a decision that you get to make. Yes, sir.
Question, does my bond still stand? So am I able to pay bond?
Yes, sir.
Could I get my bond reduced, sir, due to the fact that I'm on my own? Can I get it reduced a little bit, please?
Well, see, but that's what I'm saying to you, Mr. Powell, is that I don't have the information available to me at this time to make an informed decision. I don't, as a judge, I have to weigh whether this person is essentially a danger to public safety. And normally I look at your history to make that determination, but I don't have that information before me today to even try to make that decision.
All right, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, sir. Well, good luck to you.
All right.
Okay, so
Judge, if I can make a couple of announcements on a couple of cases where one, we have a victim here.
yes, ma'am.
On Asia Baker,
Uh-huh.
after taking a look at the police report and the charges in this case. I don't want the victim sitting around. The state would ask that that case be reset to have the officer come in regards to that case.
And Your Honor, I would have to object to that, Your Honor. We are here today ready to proceed with the preliminary hearing. If we cannot proceed, we're going to ask the case be dismissed for want of prosecution.
When was this person arrested?
So he has two different, I'm sorry, for Miss Baker. She looks like,
I'm saying March 27th.
yes,
Might be
Judge.
March, yeah.
Oh, you have a chapstick in your bag. Oh, there's one in your bag too. The pink lipstick.
Hold on. I think we got Miss Coleman in here. What is Miss Bella, do you have Miss Baker's driving history? I see she's charged with DUI.
Yes, Judge. She's not licensed
Okay.
at all.
Do you know if this is a first lifetime charge for
Right,
DUI?
she has nothing that I can see. She doesn't have anything on her history for DUI.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
showing she's not a licensed person. She got denied a license. I cannot see based on her record why. And she does not have any other DUIs on her criminal history.
okay. Well, Mr. Suh, I'll tell you what, I'm inclined to grant the state's request, but I also will reduce your client's bond on the DUI charge to $1,000. So she'll have a total bond of $2,000. You look like you were thinking about something.
I was thinking that most likely we're going to wait another week and try to have the prelim next week. That's what I was thinking, but I'll talk to Ms. Baker and let her know about the announcement.
Well, go ahead. I'm sorry, Ms. Bella.
No, that was
Oh, Ms. Moultrie.
week, Mr. Suh, it'll be the 17th of May. Hello?
1 second, please. I'm counseling with co-counsel.
What time were you saying that a reset would be, Ms. Moultrie?
May 17th.
May 17th? How is that May 17th calendar getting big too?
Not today.
Okay, well, I mean,
Well,
I'd definitely rather have it then than any longer than then.
Yeah. I mean, to be quite frank, our calendars are going to be pretty large over the next couple of months.
Yeah,
Drink
I
extra
guess let's
coffee.
do the 17th
Understand.
then, if next week is full up.
Well,
You-
yeah, next week is out, 158, no.
So
You don't
I'll-
believe your client can make that bond? Mr.
I don't
Suh?
think it's the price that's more of the concern. It's more of the nature of this case. This is a case we'd like to proceed.
We
with.
definitely don't want to waive the hearing, Your Honor.
Yes,
I think
that's the key.
that's what Mr. Suh is worried about, but I mean, you wouldn't have to waive the hearing in order for Judge Gardner to reduce the bond amount.
I guess there we go. As long as we can prevent from waiving the hearing, I'll let her know about the bond reduction, and I'm
But
sure
then if
she'll
she
be
were
happy.
to make bond, then she'd be waiving the hearing.
Yes, and that would be her choice. I would let that be her choice.
Right. I'm trying to sort of be fair to both sides. So
Your
if you,
Honor,
yes, sir.
I don't know if she is supposed to be on screen, but I want the court to be aware she's not on screen.
No,
Yes.
no, I understand.
And so I know we're talking about things that might relate to her desires of either trying to waive or not, but she's not on screen. I think she has
That's
a right
fair
to be on
point.
screen.
Fair point.
No, I was going to have this discussion and then bring her up. And once we understand what we're doing, inform her that there's been a discussion.
Okay.
Because she does need to know about this. Can we bring up Asia Baker?
Yes, sir.
Miss Baker, are you Asia Baker? Okay, ma'am, there's been a discussion about your case. There has been a request from the state to continue this case to another date. And I have granted that request, but I've also reduced your bond on the DUI charge to $1,000. So you're gonna have a total bond of $2,000. And that's a discussion that you can have with your lawyers about whether you want to post that bond or whether you want to wait to have the hearing. The hearing is gonna be reset to May 17th. And my understanding is that you've been in custody since March 27th. So it's my desire to hopefully reduce your bond to the extent that you can post a bond and get out of jail. So I don't know whichever choice you want to make, but you should make that decision in consultation with your lawyers. And you don't have to discuss that with me here today. Do you understand that? Okay.
That said, if I could request a short conference with her, I guess, I'm sorry, hang on one second. Steven's giving me a look.
I mean, he's gonna put us in the breakout room to talk to some people anyways, so we can.
Exactly.
Yeah. I was gonna,
Exactly. That's what I was getting at.
right.
I'll speak with her for a minute or two during that time, and I guess hope we'll have a better announcement.
Okay. So that takes care of Mr. Baker. You're gonna Mr. Little or Mr. Lane or Mr. Sud, you're gonna have to speak to Mr. Amos. We have two more people who are waiting as witnesses, Farmer and White. Are those cases that we can resolve now and then take a break?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Your Honor, the defense is ready on Farmer.
And defense is ready on what, White?
Okay, I'm showing Mr. Brooks for Mr. Farmer, looks like an Officer Jackson. But I did not see an Officer Jackson present.
The victim is present on this case, Your Honor. On Devin Farmer,
Yes, sir.
there's a victim present.
Okay. All right. Let's bring up Mr. Devin Farmer.
Mr. Derek Farmer, what's the victim's name?
It is Martina Stallings, sir.
Stallings.
I'm gonna bring Ms. Stallings in.
Stand up, man. You can't be. Devon Farmer. Who you looking for? Devon Farmer. Farmer? Yeah. I got it. Oh, okay.
That was a female.
Yes, sir.
I think.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. Ms. Stallings, are you here?
Yes, my camera went out. I'm
Okay.
at work.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to be able to turn your camera on, man.
That's what I just said. It went out. I'm using the computer at work and it just went out and they can't get it fixed right now.
Mr. Brooks or Miss Bellau, who's handling this case?
Judge, that would be me.
What's your recommendation to do about Ms. Stallings' camera?
She's going to need to be on camera somehow. If she can possibly, if I can maybe get my victim witness advocate to speak to her, see if maybe she can use someone's phone that has a camera, but we will need her to be on camera.
Let me
Yes.
let me see if they have another computer available that I can use.
Okay. Ms. Farmer, would you take a step back, please? Let's bring up White, Destiny White.
Yeah.
Destiny White. You on the white or right?
White. And I'm going to take this moment to tell Mr. I think Haynes that he can be excused.
Officer Ellis. Officer Ellis.
Okay, so I released Mr. Haynes. Hold on one second.